welcome to Signature Morning from the Abuja studio. And this Monday morning, forget about my puffy face. This job, this country, issues have to be discussed and interrogated. And this morning we are looking at the crisis in Rivers State, issues, matters arising. And the person with me in the studio is thoroughly qualified because he knows relationships between parties, among politicians. And my guest this morning is Chief Peter Ame. Chief Peter Ame was the chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council. Peter, and welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Great.
Pleasure to be here.
After the inauguration of Fubara, Siminalayi Fubara, as the governor of Rivers State, gossips began to emerge that the governor every Friday sent all government files to Abuja from Port Harcourt, so that the current minister of the FCT will counter-check before final approval was given. Pure gossip. Subsequently, the gossip emerged again that tendency to send files to Abuja, the governor was becoming uncomfortable with it, and therefore was trying to assert himself as a governor. Approve things and reject things. Approve appointments and reject appointments. The first signal of discontent began to emerge. You have been in charge of Party Advisory Council, party relationships. Is it feasible that a former governor will stay 1,000 miles away and be determining how a current governor should raise his hand, bring down his hand, sit down, arrange his clothes, and maybe kiss his wife? Is it right? Does it happen? Can it happen?
In a democracy, it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't, because in democracy, those who are elected are supposed to be, responsible to the affairs of the people. They are supposed to be beholden to the people. They are supposed to be responsive and responsible to the people in totality. Because why? Because naturally, if we run an electoral democracy, where people have to go to the polls to cast their vote and then elect the persons of their choice through a multi-party democratic system, as enshrined in the Constitution for Section 221 to 210, you know that the people will now be afraid that there will be a repercussion for not, towing the, and working a line for the people. But in our case, there's this issue with our electoral system. It's not free, it's not credible, and it's not something that you find out that a big hand of godfatherism in it. So a lot of people know how Fubara became governor. There's no doubt about that.
Let's discuss it. Let us not just gloss over it. Yeah. Let us talk about how he became governor.
We can have said it on national TV several times.
Yes.
How he made him, how he bought funds for all of them. This is what is killing our democracy. This cash, for position, cash for investment, for people to be elected, is what is killing our democracy. So we can said it on TV. It's not even my own word. It's his own word against the decisions of the people through the ballot box. And this is what has affected governance, because he is saying that I made him, I will crush him, I will do this. He's supposed to be, even he himself, supposed to be afraid of the people, but he's not, because he's thinking that what is obtainable in the past will still be obtainable in 2027. But like you said, there was rumor. Allegedly, there were a lot of information that even sometimes the governor will sign something and the commissioner will ask him, "Are you sure you have contacted Oga on this thing you are signing?" So the governor became very furious, and that this is becoming unbecoming, and he has to look for a way to free himself. And it is in that process that they started clashing. It's in that process that they started crashing, and that crashing became something that is not in the interest of the people. Look at what they are doing today. Look at what look at what the Supreme Court have done.
I'm coming to that, Peter. Just 1 second. There was a prophet on what we are seeing now, on what is happening now. Permit me, just give me 2 minutes. Let me play back Prophet Peter Fayoshe, former governor of Ekiti State. If my producer is ready, let's just listen to Peter Fayoshe.
Your Excellency, my counsel is to you. God will help you. Don't see more than what you are supposed to see. The moment you want to see more than you are supposed to see, you begin to see spirit. Oh. I know we go. I know we go. Now, if you say he will fight you, it's either you surrender or you look for that trouble to the end. God will not find you weakest problem. Oh.
Yes. Peter Fayoshe warned the governor. I know this man. Don't look for his trouble. See what he wants you to see. How healthy is this for governance?
I think I'm not even believing that he was a prophet. He was just warning the elected governor to toe the line of the
what he said is plain out.
Because he knows that the man is always attached to fighting for godfatherism. He himself, Wike, have said several times that Rivers is not Lagos State. That godfatherism cannot work in Rivers State. The video is there in the public domain, and he cannot wake up and then take the position where the people are supposed to occupy as the electors of those who were supposed to represent them, and then now superintend over the affairs of everybody, including the elected. It is not democratic. This is unacceptable that in the current democratic system in this 21st century we have a person who is outside government that is tailoring the affairs of those in government. That is not good for our people. We can't now allow past governors to pocket present governors and expect there will be development. There will be issues because people will budget appropriation and investment in the state will be thrown through the wings and caprices of the godfather. Whatever that has happened, yes, you have nominated somebody, and while we are still saying that we must be able to have an electoral system that will represent our people's interests so that democracy can flourish in Nigeria. We can't be running what they call quasi-democratic system and expect the growth to occur. What Wike is doing in Rivers State is not acceptable by me. I don't think a lot of Nigerians believe in it. I don't think a lot of Rivers people believe in it. And for me, it is even more worrisome to see that this character is further endorsed by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's the truth. Because the way he has spoken, look at the way he's spoken about Ijaw people. Look at what he has talked about Igbos. Look at what he's saying. This is a fact that we should not allow ethnic baiting and ethnic politics within the territorial conference of this country. What we are saying, if resources are meant for Rivers people, these resources will be used for Rivers people. Even the judgment of the Supreme Court, I have issues with it.
Coming to that.
So we cannot sit down as a people and all of us will be, we now resign to fate and say, oh, the politicians are taking over. Oh, it is their government. No, it is our country. We must make this country work for the next generation. Our time is passing. We can't continue to look, because we want to be in government, because we want to be known by those in government, we'll not start to now, observe in a way that will throw away the interest of our people. The interest of the people must be paramount. The welfare of the people, that's what the Constitution wants, must be at the center point of whatever we are discussing. The executive governor today is Fubara. And if the governor must be able to, write his name in the footprint of time, he must be able to have his own policies. He must be able to crave a niche for himself so that people will say he came at social time and this social thing. The governor has said several times on TV that today the contract, the road they are doing times 10 of the cost of it, is doing it with just times 2 of the cost of it. So you are saying that they are overinflated figures, but you can't say anything because the man who is supposed to be, who is being accused, is now in government and in a good relationship with the president. And we are saying our institution, whether the EFCC, the ICPC, or co, are not working freely. People will say we are talking because we are opposition. The fact that we are opposition does not mean we cannot see right. The fact that we are opposition does not mean we should not say what is true. The truth remains that today governance in Rivers State is suffering. Governance in Rivers State is not in the interest of the people. You look at the protest when he was going to Calabari or somewhere, some days ago, the people agitated. That is the center bed of our resources. If whatever happened today to the Niger Delta, all of us will be in hunger. So if it beckons on all of us, it is our collective responsibility to sit down together and say, no, let Nigeria, let Rivers State have peace, let the governor have the capacity, the freedom and authority that has been, you know, donated to him by the people to perform the duty for the period of 4 years. And if you feel that you are so powerful, I don't think why it's so difficult to wait for another election. You are so powerful, you can make a man electoral process. You can feed another candidate. People have done it. People who really have authority of their people. People who really believe in their capacity in this country have said, no, I don't believe in this central system you are working. I don't believe in the policies that you are doing. Kwankwaso left his party, went to NNPP, one Kano State, one House of Reps, one senator. He has proven his mantle that this is what I can do. My people believe in me. Peter Obi loved PDP, joined the Labour Party, got 6.something million votes, got 36, 37 House of Reps, got 8 senators, and a numbers of House of Assembly. That is what you can prove your leadership and say this is by capacity. Not that you sit on the back of the king and you are holding broom behind and sweeping everybody. Say, if you come down from that back, people will flog you. You know it. That's why you are hiding behind the shadows. So we must be able to say this person, yes, you are so powerful. Why is it that you only can be powerful when you are with the central government right from 1999?
Let us look at, Peter, let us look at the Supreme Court issue. I'm a little bit bothered by that Supreme Court issue. As a lay person, the Supreme Court has ruled the first that these people in fact did not defect. Mm-hmm. They did not write to any party, but let us see the evidence whether they indeed defected or they did not defect. My producer, can you please play me one or two of those clips? Maybe the internet never forgets. Let us see.
Some days ago, we defected inside the Hallowed Chamber of the Rivers State House of Assembly in line with section 109 of the 1999 Constitution as altered. We made sure that we followed due process. We made sure that we did not do anything outside provisions of the 1999 Constitution. We have 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly that defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress APC. 27 of us.
Distinguished colleagues, the reason for the defection by the 27 members of this House are purely in line with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as altered, specifically section 109, and the House has already before this time deliberated on all the issues in the PDP, and we feel there is sufficient division, and for that reason members have the choice to move to the All Progressive Congress as already indicated in these letters.
The former governor of Rivers State, now the Minister of FCT, before me here is the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, a proud member of the All Progressive Congress. and other members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. My party is grateful. We are enriched and we are in firm control of the Rivers State House of Assembly.
Well, I wanted you to watch by yourselves and listen to those people, the 27 members and their leadership, and the leadership of APC welcoming them and saying, Okocha saying the FCT minister is here and the speaker is here, respective members now of APC. Peter, I have, let me call myself a simpleton, a little stupid. Is there a way I accept and publicly declare that I'm a thief and my 5 fingers were right in the pie, and I accept that I'm a thief? Then I go to court and the court says, no, he's not a thief. Is any legal thinking? Maybe you have encountered it before.
You know, because our court have made, a decision to arrive at justice. You know, judgment is even from arriving at justice. You know, I just, giving judgment, and without the component that, the most important component of judgment, which is justice delivery. It has become so difficult with our system. If you look at most of the lawyers from Femi Falana and everybody who has spoken, they'll tell you this was a reckless decision of the Supreme Court, because it has really made, defection very easy. You are saying that their names were not found in the register of the party, that nobody saw them with membership card of the party, and these people defected publicly. And moreover, don't forget that the case that was used to determine the defection of these 27 lawmakers was already in court before their defection. So that case was not supposed to be the one to be used to be determining, because it was a case about the local government election that was being planned to be held. So how did the matter of defection come in when the real matter that has to do with defection is still at the Court of Appeal? And in that matter, just the necessary evidence was filed there, because they felt, the people who are fighting the case felt, oh, this is for local government, let's just wait. But it was like Father Christmas, because the court went far and beyond, by even admonishing the governor, by warning him that he was behaving like dictator and doing all sorts of things. I think the court is diving into the arena of politics, and it's very dangerous for our people. It's very dangerous for our democratic development. It's about democratic projection, and whatever we have to do with democracy, we should be able to have a court that must determine cases based on its merit. These people have defected. There's an affidavit, which is a document that is signed on oath by the 27 lawmakers that they have defected. It is at the Court of Appeal. So if the court wanted to do well and actually deliver justice, what the court would have done was said, with the peculiar cases that we filed in this
consolidate
based on the advice of the president of the Court of Appeal, Monica, who said that these cases should be consolidated. You know why? So that this confusion will not arise. But the court refused and went ahead to take this case, separately, which has now, what will happen to the case at the Court of Appeal? Even the matters that they are in
now that the Supreme Court has made a pronouncement.
The Supreme Court has made a pronouncement on that matter. So you don't have a system. See, Section 109, Section 1G clearly state that when you defect and decamp from a party that has sponsored you for an election, you automatically vacate your seat. That's what the section said. We can't render the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we can't render it useless because, through pronouncement of court. We must be able to, what the court is supposed to do, is supposed to be able to add more flesh and give more authority to the Constitution, so that people will not undermine the Constitution of this country. Because those who are defecting today might say, oh, go and check their register. I'm only speaking for APC. My name is not there in the party register. My name is not there, I don't have ID card. But the APC know they are their members. It will not become, because what the 27 lawmaker is doing is that they think that, Nigerians are stupid. They think that because they have taken decisions, and Nigerians are always very easy to always adjust to, funny decisions of politicians, and that we have all developed collective amnesia and believe that, oh, we can't remember. No, you people did not defect. Truly, we accept. But is there conscience? Is there character? Is there integrity? Is there discipline in the attitude of these lawmakers? Is that the kind of system that we want our children to learn from? And for me, whatever I do, whether I go to studio, whether I play politics, I used to tell somebody say, you have been in the position for 20 years. Why don't you join ruling government? I said, to do what? Opposition is also a government outside government. I'm speaking for the people. You want me to join ruling government because you felt if I join ruling government, I will benefit money. And that is not the essence of my purpose. My purpose is to be able to see how Nigeria works. Because whatever I do, as I come to this studio, I know my son is going to watch, and I want him to have the moral lessons that he has to grow with. That he has to be
this
right.
Is what my father stood for.
He has to continue to be right and do what is right for the development of his own self and for the people. Because if you look at selfish interests that has been the cornerstone of many political leaders, is the reason why Nigeria is not diving. And there's this crisis that we have. There's poverty, there's inflation, there's highest unemployment record that we have ever had exists today. So we cannot continue in that direction, and that is the direction where the court is endorsing, how they call it, indiscipline, endorsing our constitution, the mutilation of our constitutional provisions, and that is not good for our democracy. We must have as a people, stand by what the law says and then defend it. And like I earlier said, these are people who are not, I don't think they are popular. If they are popular, what they should be clamoring for is to say, we have resigned. Conduct election is only 27th position. Let's go and show you that we control our people. No, they believe that it is by the how they call strong man approach to be able to get power. So they're looking for impeachment. They're looking for all sorts of things. You can't impeach the governor without the chief judge.
Let us move to the Supreme Court judgment. I made some kind of observation on its implementation. The governor behaved like a decent person, even though that judgment was roundedly against his own interests. He said, I will obey. That is a court judgment. But members, those 27 members, happily began with ultimatums. Do this in 24 hours. Do this in 48 hours. And we're hearing, you said it here, peace, harmony, doing the right things. Does that kind of disposition by the 27 members help peace, political peace? Has the governor not made the ultimate sacrifice, as it were, to say, look, no matter that this judgment is nearly leading me to the gallows, it is a court decision. I will obey. How do the two attitudes help reverse state politics?
The two attitudes for the governor, I'm really proud of. I've never met the governor. I don't know anybody that knows him. I'm never close to him. I am determined to speak the truth, and that is the truth. Because for me, I saw that the governor's acceptance of the Supreme Court judgment, no matter how bitter it was for him, is something that should be commended by all Nigerians, because the governor can still go and still be ranting and making noise like other politicians in the state will do, and then try to destroy whatever left fabric that is left covering the sanctity of democracy in the state. But he has rejected that and taken the side of reasonable reasoning. So look at the problem here. The State House of Assembly is only meant to make laws for the good governance and development of the state. It's not an executive arm. No. It's a lawmaking arm. But they are saying, oh, we remove all the commissioners. You don't have the power. It's the governors that have the power to appoint and remove his commissioner. You can screen them, but they're already commissioners, so you can't remove them. You can't start to now dive into applying authorities you are not given to by constitution. Constitution didn't give you that power. There's someone in the chairman of the RISEC who wants to reconduct the local government election as directed by the Supreme Court, because they don't want it to hold. They can't win. All they want to do is to store the state. They are not thinking of the interest of the state. What they want to do is to the state to become ungovernable, so that the people can become pauperized. They don't have their salaries. They don't have their basic salaries, so that they can meet their basic needs, so that the state can now be in chaos. That is the target, so that the governor will now find the state ungovernable. So, and the fact is that the lawmaker have rejected twice from the governor to present the new budget before them, in line with the proposal, the judgment by the Supreme Court. The lawmaker must take into one thing into point. Not presenting that budget will bring hunger to the people of Rivers State. So I think, but I know that is not their interest. So there's no need for me to preach to people who cannot be converted. That does not waste our energy. The basic thing what I want the governor to do was for him to continue to implement that judgment and try to make sure that local government election is conducted in August 9th or so, as already arranged. But I know that there will still be judgment against that before August 9th. There will be judgment.
They still go to court.
I know that, just to start the process. So I think he should continue to do that. People are watching. Nigeria has seen who is right. Nigeria has seen that he's a quiet person, and I'm not interested. I just want the rule of law to always triumph over those who are breeding anarchy and trying to bring destruction to any state within the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because one state once injured, the rest will be affected, especially places that has to do with revenue generation for our country. So the lawmakers, 27 of them, defected. We all saw it. Supreme Court has said otherwise. We will stay with them, because I know the Supreme Court is supposed to work in line with law and public public opinion. Yeah. And if this public opinion it shows that these lawmakers are defected, if there are records to prove they are defected, and the Supreme Court is saying otherwise, it's the Supreme Court of Nigeria, and we will obey that law. But what we need to be able to now see that our justice delivery system must be re-engineered, must be worked on in a way that actually deliver justice. Because what has happened, it is not justice, to my own understanding. I think these people have done our people wrong, yes, and then have gotten away with it because of the judgment.
Peter, let me come to your turf. You were the chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council in this country, and that position meant that you were helping to harmonize in the interests of the people, not just in your party relationships, INEC, party with INEC, party and party, civil society and party and the people. What can IPAC, what can the body of political parties do? Just think for me, to help Rivers State out of the situation. What advice will you be giving the legislators, the party whigs, the governor, the politicians in Rivers State? As we just said, everything should be done in the interests of the people. Situation like this doesn't work out in the interest of the people. Already, 6 people have lost their lives in this crisis. In the records, there could be more. The violence doesn't pay anybody any good dividend. What will you be telling them? The legislature, the governor, even the strong man himself. What will you be telling them to create peace, harmony, progress in Rivers State?
First of all, the governor will continue to defend the constitutional mandate given to him. I don't want to, see that in the process of, trying to make peace, it becomes more weakened and become like a child that whips, throughout the process until it's even flogged. So he must continue to defend the constitutional mandate that has been given to him. It's an assumption that people made him, but to, record by public record, yeah, it was the people that voted for him. So he should defend that. And since he has always said that the people are with him, he should make sure that the interests of the people are him. And whatever approach that is brought, that is conducive enough to, create peace, he should accept it, for the good of the people. And I think the lawmakers should see beyond, serving their godfather or serving their, their strong man. But I know they are always strong because they are, they have a relationship with the APC. If they were all both in opposition, police would have set aside, security men would have interfered, then they would have known that, would have been able to determine how strong, which side is stronger. But what I said is that they should, just restrict themselves within the constitutional provision of why they were elected, is to make law for the good, governance and development of Rivers State, and nothing more. You can do oversight function, you can pass, appropriation act, and all that, but the governor still has to sign this. The governor has to still present it. So there must be synergy in this process. You don't take the function of the governor. You don't try to now become the executive arm of the state. Neither do the governor become the lawmaking arm of the state. So that everybody must know where to draw the line, where their responsibilities start and end. And for the former governor, current minister of FCT, he has said it, that it's almost impossible to have the kind of situation that happened in Lagos to happen in Rivers. He has said it himself, and he knows it's impossible, because I know that when the election comes, I know the people that we are not new in this politics. If we mention all the arrays of the leaders of Rivers State that are with Fubara, I'm wondering how they are going to defeat him in 2027. It's not something that is going to be possible. So I think that's why they think it is better to have an undertaker process, take him out before the election, so that they can have an easy flow, have their way. So it is just the best interest of the state for there to be peace, and all of them must respect that, and that we must have a court that work towards also creating peace. Because if there's no balance of power, if there's a perception or in public domain that the court always favors one and don't favor the other, it even destroy the image of the judiciary in the court of public opinion, because public opinion should matter to those in there working in the arm in the judiciary. It should matter to them, because they are supposed to be working for the interests of the people. And if the people have a very dirty image about how they carry out their duties, then it will not all go well for our judiciary. And if it's not going well for our judiciary, we remember when the Oputa were part of the judiciary. You see how people sang his praises. Up to now, people are singing his praises.
The verdict of the court.
The verdict of the court. But today, a lot of politicians are not already respecting the verdict of the court. There are a lot of it we can mention. They don't respect it. People give court judgment, and people just ignore the judgment. And we need to have our court to take that pride of place that he used to have during the times of Justice Chukwudile Oputa. We need to have that. It is not something, and we can't. When I was growing up, yes, all I wanted to do was to be a lawyer. I couldn't be. Yes, I took another path. But the way we love law and the way people believe in the law is like when somebody read law in those days. You say, man, this person is is there. But now it is almost not. It's almost losing its vibe and losing the value. So it is this generation and those who sit on our bench that can restore that dignity.
Peter, I'm just looking at your own watch. I'm also looking at my time. Now, I want you to make a little comment in respect of the blocking of the governor from presenting the 2025 budget as directed by the Supreme Court. I find it a little bit childish, rascally, that in obeying the Supreme Court, the governor has elected to eat the humble pie, wrote the assembly in its own words, tried to present the 2025 budget and got locked out. The governor of a state got locked out. Please, Peter, have a word for our legislators. Just a word for our legislators.
Our legislators in the state, in Rivers State, have crossed the line, sincerely. You shouldn't treat any governor, no matter how you feel powerful you have become, maybe due to the Supreme Court judgment that has been handed over to you. You should not treat any governor the way the man was treated. I felt really bad that day. I felt bad for him. And I saw how humble the man was in explaining himself, why he came to present you. If it was the other governor, the previous governor before him, they would drive trailer through the gate. But you can see him, he walked back and still wrote a letter to them, asking to be presented this week or so, and they are not answering him. Please, the lawmakers, the 27 lawmakers that now owns the majority in the State House of Assembly of Rivers State, please take the interest of your people at heart, the interest of our citizens that reside within Rivers State. Because yes, you are from Rivers State, you are Ikwere, you are Ijo, but there are people also who are citizens who are from other states who are residing there, who will benefit for good governance if provided by the governor, if provided by law, by the lawmakers. So it is a complete, it will be a complete disaster If Nigerian citizens cannot enjoy those benefits because laws can be passed, because the budget can be presented, and because you have deliberately refused to stand as obstacle to the welfare and well-being of our people that reside in Rivers State. It is unfair. It is totally something we should condemn. If you think you mean well for the country, you mean well for Rivers State. I think if I was a speaker of the Rivers State Assembly right now, what I would do is to write to the governor, we are seeing your letter, please, this date is not conducive. This is the day you should come and present your budget. If the governor does not come, then we know that the governor is playing game, like you have said. But from what we are seeing, is the State House of Assembly are playing game. If you look at the public media chart that was carried out last time by the Minister of FCT, was saying that as if he was aware that the people deliberately refused to allow the governor to come in, that their children are there, that you can't just come there, you can't just enter there. How will you just come? That you want to enter there? He was speaking for the House of Assembly. That means he's having first-hand discussion with them. And the only thing on the agenda of them today that they cannot achieve, I know they can't achieve it, because there's a responsible chief judge in Rivers State that have stood the ground and determined cases based on law and justice. Why they cannot achieve it is because of him, not because they don't want to do it. The only thing on their mind is not to pass law, it's not to pass bill, it's not to appropriate any appropriation, it's not to do anything that will benefit people. It's just to call him article of impeachment. But they are thinking there's an obstacle, because if you put an article of impeachment, a panel will be set up to review what you are putting, and that panel will have to arrive at a resolution and a report before you can impeach. So this is what is stopping them, and I feel it's so sad that all what a person wants to do is to impeach somebody because he feels he's powerful and can do it. People talk about, why was the governor making laws with four legislators? It has happened. Even Wike was making with 7. He didn't accept those who were loyal to Amechi. Nigeria had this easy forgetting things that have happened in the past and move on and start to determine new things. He didn't accept them. He was working with the ones that were loyal to him. And this local government election that they are complaining that he conducted, he did this. When Wike got to office, he disbanded and removed the one that Amechi put and conducted his own. So we just forget things, and because our law is just based on document, it's not based on history, it's not based on politics, he just take his own law, and then because he has taken his law, we all must respect whether it's right or whether it's wrong. And that is why we're in this mess. So there's nothing they can tell me that will make me feel the mean way for our people, except I see them writing a letter to the governor and saying that yes, we have seen your letter. You want to come and present your budget. We were not chance at the time. Our family was around, just like the Minister of FCT has said. They were eating, they were dancing, so we couldn't let you enter for to protect our children. But now we want you to come on so date. Let's see whether the governor will not come to present the budget. Because we spoil a lot of things in this country. The lawmakers were not put there when they present the budget to you for you to cancel it, for you to throw it away. No, the governor is presenting the budget. This is what I want to do. If you now start to rewrite the budget, do whatever you like to the budget.
Then you are the executive.
Then you are the executive. All you need to do is to say, this 2 billion you put, why did you put it? If he explains to you, he has to justify the 2 billion. That is why it's there. And if the 2 billion you feel, 1 kilometer is how much? Why are you putting 7 kilometer for 10 billion? 1 kilometer, this is a document too. And the governor sees this, and maybe the contractors have misled him. It's okay, let's correct it. Not that you just come and say, they brought 20 billion budget or appropriation, and you say, no, it has to be 1 billion. No, it's not to you. You are not the one to implement it. You don't even know how the resources of the state is generated. It is not your responsibility to generate resources. You are not in charge of the IGL. The FAC allocation does not come to you. So we have a problem, Renahan, if the House of Assembly continue to stop the governor from performing his function, continue to resist the governor from entering the State House of Assembly to present a budget, we have a problem to say, yes, they are now overplaying their hand with the judgment of the Supreme Court.
Now, let us have a little conversation very briefly on the man who has accepted that the 27 lawmakers are loyal to him. After all, he said he bought forms for all of them, including the governor. During the presidency of Muhammadu Buhari, Nyesom Wike was given award as a performing infrastructure providing governor under opposition. In other words, he has something he can claim in Rivers State. He is now the FCT minister. And residents say he is doing very well. He's providing infrastructure again. When it comes to a man's credentials, should that not be enough satisfaction that as a governor, I delivered. As a minister, I'm delivering. I don't need to hold anybody hostage down in Rivers State for me to prove my competence and my capacity. I've been recognized even by opposition. Isn't that good enough for Wike? Instead of playing out what Peter Fayose said to him, that don't look for Wike's trouble, he will fight you, his fight never ends. Is the minister not done well enough to be satisfied with himself than stoking crisis right in his own backyard?
He's more interested in controversy. He has always been controversial as a politician. But I don't look at his work. You know, Nigerians get carried away. I don't look at the work he's doing. I look at the cost of his contracts. Because when we got into FCT now, there's a contract for Gusape Lot 1. Lot 1, the original contract sum is 22.2 billion. Original contract sum, 22.2 billion. Wike has reversed that same contract to 70.890 billion. That's the current contract cost. Percentage variation is 219%. What inflation can make you change contract from 22.2 billion to 70.890 billion? What inflation? So you can't increase that. There are a lot of like that. We're talking of renovation of the International Conference Center. They're talking about 39 billion. We should build a new one. So I don't think about work. That's the way Nigerian gets it wrong. That's why we're being cheated. If people just come because I never had borehole in my village, somebody come and put the borehole that's supposed to be 3 billion, and then somebody put it at 30 billion, people will just be clapping. They will never had borehole. So he brought it. No, what about the corruption in the system? What about the figures that have been banded around as the cost of the project? So these are my challenge, including work he has done in Rivers, including what he's doing here. I feel the cost of this project are too high. And I still maintain that the cost of the project should not be as high as they are. You can't do project variation from 22.2 billion. In fact, there's a project that, you know, each kilometer will cost about 3-point-something billion, 1 kilometer. How can you do one road of 1 kilometer for 3-point-something billion? I wrote something about it some weeks ago. I didn't even know I was going to discuss something like this. So you will have a problem that because people do road is the cheapest thing to do. It's the cheapest construction. It's not, even building this house is very difficult than road. It's the cheapest construction, especially in northern Nigeria where you have, you know, rock land and hard land. Not in Niger Delta, not in East-West Road. This road, as soon as you just, you know, do the first clearing, you can tie. So the road is the cheapest road they can do. You can do 100 million naira per kilometer. So with the cost we are talking today is so on the high side that I think that Nigerians should just be, we are not just
anyway. I made my comment based on what I'm seeing and based on comments in the street, because
I've given you a reason why
I understand. People in the street say, look, we didn't see these things 10 years ago, 12 years ago, but the man is coming and we're seeing them. I mean, there should be a sense of satisfaction.
I've never seen any minister that has outperformed El-Rufai in this FCT. I've not seen. It's not my friend. I like some of his views, but I've not seen a minister that had performed El-Rufai. If not for El-Rufai, Abuja was a slum when by the time El-Rufai got into. I've been in Abuja for 30 years.
Let me point back to Rivers.
30 years.
If I point back to Rivers, he did as well as he could. And Buhari said, you are a fantastic governor being there. I mean, the point I'm trying to make is that having achieved that much, it doesn't require holding anybody hostage to show that you are a performer.
I agree a lot of you are not the way you are going to. But I'm telling you what I know. In this same Rivers, it is Amechi that came to TV and said the cost of his project were times 10 of his own. You understand? So it is not me.
Maybe.
So people can applaud him, but I must rely on public data and public information to be able to applaud him. I know what your Beggar Junction was. I know what Urumokoro is. It was. I know the things where the things were when he got into office. Today in Abuja is not safe. People's houses have been broken into in a lot of places. We must be able to correct the poverty in the Federal Capital Territory The Federal Capital Territory now has a lot of resources. It must be able to look at human capital development and look at how to be able to, finance small and medium scale enterprises so that this level of crime in the state should reduce. People don't understand that you can have road. What about if you don't have crops to motor to ply the road? What about if you don't have crops to be moved from one place to another? The roads will just be like decoration. We must be able to take advantage of even of the arable land in the FCT, where people are not even occupying, like Gwagwalada, Baji and Co, and provide land so that the FCT itself can be food sufficient. The cost of living here is extreme and enormous. We must be able to look at how to be able to provide low-cost housing so that people can live in the FCT. About 70% of people working in the FCT are living outside the FCT. In Suleja, in Masaka, in Maraba. These are facts that are there. And their cost of transportation have tripled because of the impromptu and impulsive, fuel subsidy removal. I have staff, I know what they go through. Their salary no longer helps them. I feel it. So we can't have a system that we're just talking about infrastructure without human capital development, without poverty discussion, without issues on how to help our people to gain access to better life, without the issue to be able to look at the primary schools in FCT. Yes, they said the area councils were supposed to do it, but now there's so much money at the disposal of the FCT minister. They should be able to fix the FCT primary school. It's an embarrassment, and eyesore.
Okay, Peter, I think that our issue for conversation this morning is being the crisis in Rivers State, and I think we've done a very good conversation. I want to believe. Let me speak for my viewer, if you don't mind it. The other issues we can always take on because they never end. For this morning, all we devoted our time to the crisis in Rivers State, issues arising from it. My guest says the governor has behaved like a decent citizen and that he also expects the legislators, 27 of them, to reciprocate and behave decently. He's obeyed the Supreme Court ruling. Please let him come present his budget if you claim to be working in the interest of the people. That's what Peter says. He also thinks that strong arm tactics in politics, godfatherism in politics, do not help our democracy. That's what Peter says. Consider them, cast your lot, join in the campaign for a better governance structure, for better democracy, for more harmonious relationship between the institutions, and our country can move well, whether in Rivers, in FCT, or in other part of the country. All left for me to do this on your behalf. Thank Peter. Thank you very much for coming to the conversation.
Thank you very much.
My name remains Waboz Njoku. Let me quickly tell you that the week is going to be full, very full. Tomorrow, we'll be looking at another very contentious issue. Let me keep the cat in the bag. I will let it out now. Good morning. Have a great day.